Hi, welcome to the Coffee Chat Show here on Buzzin Pattaya, the show where we talk about things that are happening right here, right now, as well as general news, tips, information and advice. Now, welcome back to part 2 here in Hemmingways. Mark, how you doing, my man?
Good, my man.
You don't look like you've changed.
I haven't.
See, I can get away with it because I wear the same shirt. But you can't.
No.
You know, God, dear.
Didn't get the memo.
Now, in part 1, if you missed part 1, please have a look down below. There's a link in the description there. Mark shared his experience. 21 years, was it?
21 years in Thailand, 24 years an expat.
Yeah, 21 years here in Thailand, Koh Samui, Pattaya, and guess what? He's a neighbour. Didn't even know it. He's my next door neighbour up in Karat there, just near Dan Quian and Chok Chai, and have a look on the map if you're not sure what we're talking about. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Today, Hemmingways, here we are in one of the biggest bar restaurants that there are in the Jomtien area. I love this place because it's what I class as a home from home style boozer. You know, you walk in, you've got like the big wooden bar, you've got the beautiful seating, you've got the tables where all your mates can come around. How did you get here?
Well, a friend of mine is one of the partners in the business, and he basically, I was in Karat at the time. I had just come back from working in Dubai, and I put it out there that I was looking for something to do, but I'd actually never done anything like this before, this line of work, food and beverage. So to do something as big as this, but obviously, you know, the guy knew me pretty well. He knew that I'd been here for many years, knew that I could speak Thai. You know, so there's a little element of risk, but like he had also ran bars before as well, so I would be able to revert back to him if there was things that I didn't understand. But it certainly was in at the deep end when you're on the other side of the bar looking in and thinking that it's just, how difficult can this be? And then kind of a month in, when I'm exhausted every single day, head spinning, you know, much more difficult than earning big money in Dubai or whatever, but you know, you don't realise you're dealing with suppliers and the dramas with staff and customers, and it just never ends. And obviously when you first open up, everything's going wrong, so you've got leaky aircon, you've got a flooded toilet, you've got a broken bar stool, you've got honest, it just doesn't. And when only people that run bars realise that it properly is a 24/7 job, so even when you're not here, you are here. But yeah, and I used to, when I haven't drank for a number of years now, but when I used to drink in here when it was Shenanigans previously. So I've always liked the bar, and when Stuart used to run it, it was one of my favourite bars. So when it got offered, I was like, well, that is something that I could get my teeth into, because it's got quite a lot of, you know, there's a lot of options with it, and they used to create a good atmosphere in here with the sport, and I'm quite sport orientated, you know, football and whatever. I think, you know, I thought it had a lot of potential, and then the guys did a really good job. Some of the other partners did a really good job in fitting it out nicely and giving it its own flavour, kind of turning it from the Irish Shenanigans and putting all the new windows in at the front to let some more light in rather than it being so dull. So yeah, it was good, but it was a sharp learning curve. But I'd say probably after about a year, I felt a little bit more. It was probably a full year until I felt confident that, you know, if anything come at me, I'd know how to react. But
I guess the question I've got to ask you, and it's something that obviously, you know, people like you just said, unless you're in this environment, you don't understand it, and myself included. How frustrating is it working with Thai deliveries and orders? Because Thai people historically and are well known for being, I'll do it when I get around to it, don't worry, it will happen. And you're sitting there thinking, no, I need this like today, you know, like it's running dry, I need it. And they're like, yeah, I'll get it. I mean, how frustrating is that?
Well, fortunately, because we deal a lot with European Western food, a lot of the importers of European Western food are European and Western people. So that takes a lot of that out of it, and if we ever get to that point where it can't be reliable enough, then we just cut them and get someone else in.
Them off.
Yeah, it's just the easiest way, because you can't have time, you know, having steak nights and the steak not turning up, or, you know, like whatever it may be.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, they say, don't they? There's no time like Thai time.
The one time I used to get very frustrated would be the guys that deliver the draft beer. Yeah. Because they'd always deliver it later in the day, and we need it at the start of the day because that's why we've ordered the stuff. You know. So it took quite a lot of, and obviously that's when we first started out. But then once we were going for a year or so, and they started to realise that we were a pretty decent account, we got a little bit more attention. Yeah. And now we get it delivered like that as soon as we need it.
Yeah, fair play. And I mean, the name Hemmingways, I mean, that's I think that's quite a posh name. That reminds me of, like, obviously Hemingway himself. I mean, what was the decision process in coming up with the name Hemmingways?
Well, the guys wanted a generic name rather than kind of something that would maybe pigeonhole it as a British pub or a whatever type of pub. They wanted to be generic, so everybody would basically come and see what Hemmingways was all about, and then let our own branding take over from there. Let them make their own decision.
Do you think it worked?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, well, you've got a good name out there, haven't you? Let's be fair. I mean, a lot of people know about Hemmingways. And one thing that I do think is a credit to the success that you have is the fact that you're not on the beaten track. You know, people that don't know where we are, and I will put a pin drop in the map for the map in the description. But even though you're on the main drag going into the Jomtien, it's very easy to drive past you, I guess.
100%.
You know, I suppose quite a lot of people would miss that. So, you know, fair credit to you where it's due. I mean, you do have a fantastic name out there, and a lot of people know about Hemmingways. In terms of Hemmingways, I want to talk to you about the restaurant side, because you've got an incredible menu, haven't you?
Let me just tell you about that as well. Obviously, the trade-off that we have is that we have we are part of the Jomtien complex condo block.
Okay.
So upstairs there's over 300 rooms.
Wow.
So we do have a lot of regulars that come downstairs. So the people that you lose maybe from the walk pie trade, you definitely gain in having some regulars that come from upstairs. But for sure, I think if we were another 30 meters next to the road, then it would be even more busy than what it already is.
Yeah, I mean, you literally are, isn't it? Just you need 30 meters and you'd be smack bang.
We work hard on our marketing. You know, we do a lot of marketing on Facebook and other social media avenues and stuff like that, and a lot of giveaways, and you know, we'll talk about that as well. You know, we've got you started mentioning the food. We've got food specials every single day.
Okay.
You can get them off of our Facebook page, but currently we've got a kebab day on a Monday, pizza at $1.99, pie night on a Wednesday, $1.99. Thursday is today, which is the ploughman's lunch, which is one of our most favourite dishes. People come from all over for that, 220 baht. And then Fridays we have gammon, $1.99, and then Saturday, Sunday we have roast all weekend.
Wow.
So that's our offerings. And then we have daily specials. I must mention as well, we've got a new chef. Just about a month before the latest lockdown, we employed a new head chef, Lee, who's English. So a bit of a shame on the timing front, but we're starting to get the kitchen think and talk the way that he does and act the way that he does, and he's added a few of his own dishes, but we're looking forward to when things get back to normal, being able to release all of that stuff, and it's just another reason for people to come in. But you know, not only do we have the specials, I think people don't realise how much kind of goes into making somewhere like this so successful. There's so many moving parts. We have a quiz night on a Monday, which we've built up to even during COVID time when we were allowed to have people in. We had 16 teams regularly.
Wow.
In the high season, in the normal high season, we've only got 24 tables inside. We'd have 22 teams. Tuesday night we used to have a pool team. The pool's cancelled at the moment. Wednesday night we didn't have anything. It was my day off. Thursday night we have live music.
Okay.
Friday nights, ladies' night and killer pool, and then Saturday and Sundays all the sports.
Right.
We also, in the daytime, we had a chess club at one point. We have the mahjong guys that come in and play mahjong. We have the Pattaya International Ladies Club that come in and play games. Like, there's a lot of different teams and people that come in to use the PAGs, the Pattaya Amateur Golf Society. They come in once a month to do their presentation and whatever else. And we do quite a lot of bigger spreads for people that are having presentations, birthday parties, whatever, up to 120 people we can cater for. So that's one thing that we're pretty well known for doing, because there's not that many people, especially in this day and age. We did one about 3 months ago for 75 for the IPGC golf tournament. So you know, people are like just trying to find people that can do it first of all, but we've been doing that kind of all the way through, and now we've got the head chef. You know, that can start from as little as 100 baht a head all the way up to as high as you want to do it, depending on how much you want to spend. So.
Wow, so you're busy then?
Yeah, it keeps us. It keeps us
just kept
going.
That going, didn't it? It's just like, and I'm doing this and this and this and this. I'm thinking, blimey, like, you know,
but
stop.
But to be honest, it kind of like it's once you're in the rhythm of doing it, and you've got the team in the rhythm of doing it, it kind of just comes automatically. And we like doing the big functions because it's a different night for the staff, it's a different night for us, and whatever else. So
yeah. And how's Lee? I mean, obviously, you know, chefs are always renowned for being a little bit explosive. If you think like Gordon Ramsay, people like that. I mean, how is he? Is he pretty mellow? Is he?
I'd say 90% of the time, but then when Thaiisms rear their head and things get done the same way after they've been told a couple of times, it's frustrating. But that's not just Thai, that's the world over. You get frustrated if you've told somebody something and they don't do it after 2 or 3 attempts. But on the whole, but Lee's been working in Thailand quite a while now, so he's pretty aware. But going to a new kitchen is always a little bit different. But you know, I'm sure that's going to reap massive rewards for us in the coming months when things get back to normal, and we can slowly introduce that in while, you know, we're not going to get run over, and then hopefully we'll have some kind of bump at the end of the year, beginning of next year. You know. Fingers crossed.
Well, I hope so, because we need it, let's be honest. I mean, in terms of the menu, I mean, you've got a comprehensive menu. I mean, what's your best seller? What's your best dish that you know? And obviously, I appreciate right now it's difficult to say because of obviously the current situation we're in. But in general, based on
the ploughman's lunch is very, very popular. The half a crispy roast chicken with whatever you know, your side, your vegetables or whatever you want with it. The lamb shank is very popular. Our Thai food, the whole menu, you know, obviously I think that's how we have quite a lot of success in the food front, because you know yourself, if it's you and your missus and it's like, where we're going to go, if you're suggesting somewhere where she goes and she's not really happy with the food, you know that they're going to be the bosses, right? So like the fact that if they come down and they're happy with the Thai food, which, you know, in general we get lots of very positive comments, and they're big portions, they're kind of Western portions.
Oh, okay, nice.
So, you know, the Thais generally can't finish, or they'll take a bit of it home or whatever, you know. Yeah,
I mean, you mentioned earlier about, obviously you spent a lot of time up in Korat, up nearby where I am, so I'm guessing you eat a lot of Thai food?
I eat quite a lot of Thai food, but not as much as you would think for someone that stayed here for so long. I really like Penang curry, I like Pad Kapow, I like Pad Thai, but like, and I've got no excuse working and living, you know, like getting served my food here every day, but probably I'll have one Thai dish every 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, as little as that.
Wow, that surprises me.
But I'm quite food conscious. I try to avoid carbs if I can, so I eat quite a lot of
well, I was going to say, you're in good shape. I mean, if I was sat there now and you were interviewing me and I'd had all my time, I'd fill these chairs twice. I'd be like, oh, just have a little bit of that, a little bit of this.
I used to fill the chair like this twice, but you work on it.
Well, I'm cycling. I'm trying my hand at cycling. Well, I'm doing about 200 kilometres every week.
Very good.
200 plus a little bit.
Very good. That's a good way of getting about and footage and content. And
yeah, well, I have to keep my eyes on the road because like everyone's trying to kill me when I'm riding around. But I mean, in terms of like obviously coming here, I mean, you're working in a really big restaurant, and I'm guessing, you know, like you've mentioned earlier, there's loads of things going on, and especially when you're really, really busy. I mean, how do you cope? How do you manage to piece it all together and get it all flowing the way it does?
Having good staff.
Is it?
And that, in a nutshell, then that's not me saying that just to be big up my staff. You know, I think, you know, when you go away on holiday and you come back 10 days, 2 weeks later, and there's maybe only 1 or 2 dramas, but you know about them before you've even come back. And, you know, and there's nothing wrong with all the important stuff, the stock's right, there's nothing wrong with the money and stuff like that, then the trust tends to build. And my senior staff, like my assistant manager Lek, who's excellent, and JJ, who's sitting there now, have been with me more or less from the start, at least for 3.5 years. One of them for 4, one of them for 3.5 years. So I've always treated my staff kind of like family. I like it to be a family. I don't like there to be any bickering, no backstabbing, no talking. If there is, and I find out about it, it's dealt with pretty severely, because it spreads pretty badly, and that's not what we're all about. And I'm very fair, but I can be very firm as well. So if you don't do anything wrong while you're in here and you turn up on time and you do your job and nothing goes wrong, then I look after you. We had a great program in here before everything went down. It was called Perfect Month. Okay. So you didn't miss your time. You didn't, you were on. You did basically what I say. Don't give me any headaches. If you give me a headache, then that's going to give you a problem with your perfect month. And it was a good way of rewarding them for performing month after month. So
can you train my missus for me? I'd like a perfect month there.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, get out of bed. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Come on.
But that's work. Home's a little bit different, right?
I mean, obviously you've seen an incredible amount of people come through the door here. I mean, what are some of the funniest things that you can think back and think, God, yeah, do you remember when that happened? I mean, if you were sat around the table
I'll tell you, this is quite a disgusting one, but I think your viewers might appreciate it. So one time, I had a guy say to me, listen, mate, you need to go into the toilet and check it out. Someone's done something there you need to see. So I'm like, what the fucking hell can this be? So I've walked in there, and like as soon as I opened the door, the stench hit me. And it was more like being in a cow field than a human, first of all. I'm like, has someone bought a bag of this in? And then I've walked in and I took a photograph. I'll show you when we finish. I took a photograph of it. So the first piece of turd was on the top of the toilet.
Oh no!
Then the second piece of the turd, the toilet had been put down, so it was on top of the toilet. Then there was a bit on the floor that they'd proceeded to walk in, to stand in, and then they'd walked it through where all the booths are here, and then walked out the door.
Wow, I mean, what goes through people's minds? I mean, that's...
So there was that one, and then one time, it was like the actual same booth, one of the staff said to me, the thingy won't go down, and the thing's, so I'm like, just a basic, I'm not any handyman by any bit, let's just have a look, take it off, pick it up, what the hell is that? Gets the thing to take it out, someone's boxer shorts. In the stench. Like, if you need toilet paper, just ask.
So do you avoid that cubicle now?
Mate. But yeah, there's been some funny. And we've had there's lots of laughter, lots of fun. Lots of some very experience and lots of good relationships. And that's the thing that I miss the most out of how the last 14, 15 months, however long it's been now, it just seems to be never ending, is there has been a few people that have returned, the hardcore family, whatever, but the guys that are a little bit more mature, let's say, and they don't want to do the 2 weeks to them is a bit, which is 100% understandable. There are, and by the way, there are very good hotels, ASQ hotels, but you just got to pay a little bit more. I know lots of people that have come through and they said that paying that little bit extra, 60,000 baht, there's one in Soi 9, the Atara or something like that, I'll tell you later. You can put it in the comments where they've said excellent, internet connection's great, that's great. It's like being on holiday, had a really good time, got my head together, rather than looking at it as being like the prison sentence that some of them are when you're getting the food with the plastic plate and all that kind of scenario. So that's the bit that I miss, the relationships that I've built over the 4.5 years that used to come back once a year, twice a year. How's it going? And they're here to enjoy themselves and they're coming in with a big smile. Unfortunately, there's quite a lot of negativity about it at the moment, which is totally understandable, which is tough for everybody. I've got staff that are on half money, some of them on less than half money, just the way that it's worked out. That's been the tough thing for me to understand, is how you can be told for a business to basically 80% of its income be taken away and get no support, whether it's a loan for the business to pay your staff or whatever, or the staff to get taken care of with the social security. Because I was bigging up the government first 3 months, the fact that the staff got money, and me being a social security pay got money as well. Not that it was a lot, but it helped at the time when you got nothing. But that was it. It was 3 months and that was it. So I think in fact, I tell a lie, there's been a few other little drips and drabs, 1,000 bahts, 2,000 bahts here and everywhere, but nothing to replace the income that they've lost. And they still have rent to pay and bikes to pay. And some people at home that are getting 75% of 3 grand, they can still pay, or 2 grand or whatever their salary is, they can still pay their mortgage and have food and whatever else. But here, it's tough.
Yeah.
You know, it's really tough.
I mean, when things return back to the normal, I mean, obviously we're stepping in the right direction now. There is a lot of headway going forwards in terms of like the Phuket sandbox, etc., etc. When things do come back to being the norm, I mean, in terms of the future of Hemmingways, what are the plans? Is there any plans moving forwards for Hemmingways?
Well, yeah, at the moment we're working on new menus with Lee. We've got a brand new brunch menu. It will be, there's 7 or 8 items on it, I can't remember off the top of my head now. They're all going to be $199.
Okay.
So it's going to be a price thing. They're going to be worth a lot more than $199 if they're on the menu. But it's to try to attract people in there between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. That's when the special will be available. And then there's going to be a lot more. At the moment, we're refining the menu now that we've got that option while there isn't so many people here. We're using that option to refine it down. And then we will then be adding a number of Lee's own creations. Now we've got daily specials, which a few of them we've already, the cottage pie, for example, is now on the main meal. We never had a cottage pie before. It's on the main meal section. That used to be a daily special. It's very, very nice. So after very good feedback, why not just put it on the main menu? So there'll be a lot of that daily specials being migrated onto the main menu, and we're going to be changing the daily specials that I rattled through before. We're going to be changing those up as well with the help of Lee to change them. So lots of that, and we've got a few plans for live music, changing the day around for that, and lots of different plans. But for now, it's just contain. Appreciate what we've got, you know, the support that we've got to allow us to open the way that we're doing now, and we are literally just getting away with it.
In terms of opening, I mean, I know on the door the hours are different to what you're opening. I mean, right as we make this video, what are your opening hours right now?
Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And at the weekends, an extra hour.
So
to 11 p.m.
Okay, and then when normality hits us back, and then what's your opening hours?
9:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Every day, and at the weekends when we have the football back to normal. And there's an 11 o'clock game, we're open for that, or 12 o'clock game where we can be open as late as 1, 2 in the morning when there's 50, 60 people in here wanting to watch Man United, Liverpool, whatever.
Ooh. Did you have to mention them names?
Whatever.
God,
well, them two would probably attract the crowd.
Arsenal.
You know?
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be bringing that up this year.
No, I know. I'm not even going to go down that road. I mean, Mark, it's been brilliant talking to you, and we're near the end. But before we go, I just want to ask you. And obviously, you know, as we mentioned in part 1, you know, Mark's travelled a lot around Thailand, knows the area very, very well. You've got an incredibly good bar stroke restaurant here. It really is. It's got a fantastic name. When it's your day off, when you finally get some time to yourself, I mean, how do you relax? What do you do?
I work on my other business. I'm just a person that likes to be busy. I'm not a workaholic. I just, you know, I don't drink anymore. So like when I finish here, I don't feel the need to, you know, stay and have a few pints after I finish my shift. So I'm not really into watching TV anymore. I used to be like, you know, binge watching Game of Thrones and stuff like that. I'm into kind of looking after myself, self-improvement, and trying to create a better future for myself and my family.
Oh, well, fair play.
That's where I am now.
Yeah, well, no, fair play, respect that. So last question for you then. Now, I threw you with the other one in part 1, so I'm going to throw another one at you now. You're thinking, what's he going to throw at me this time? Now, remember that lad that we spoke about, that you said that had to come over, and I said you give him your pearls of wisdom, and you told him, right, this is what you got to do.
Yes.
So here you go. He's here now. He's listened to all you said, and he's about to go home. But before he goes home, he's got to visit one place, has to visit, because you know it's a go-to place. Where are you going to send him, and why? Got him again, see? I bring out these little pearlers, I love it.
So once again, it's a difficult one because it's a single bloke. It's a single bloke on his jollies.
Yep, he's out here, he's having a blast of a time, but you sat him down, you said, right, you're home tomorrow. Have you been here? No, get yourself there tonight.
That's quite an easy one for a single man. That's the Devil's Den.
Oh, well, our job, that's gone.
But it's changed to something else now.
No, it's gone. Shut, completely finished.
It's changed to something else now, I think. No. I'm pretty sure. But if it has...
No, it's definitely gone.
You can put the link in the doodah. Okay, in that case, Kinnery.
Oh, okay, yeah, around the corner, yeah, not too bad. All right. Why?
because it's your last day, and why not?
Oh, I like that. That's a good wriggle. I like that. That was a brilliant wriggle, right? I'll do it for him, okay? So if you don't know about the Kinnery is a gentleman's club. Get yourself down there. There's lots of girls in the afternoon that would be necessarily in the evening won't be there because they'll be on stage doing their thing. But yeah, the Kinnery is definitely one of them. My man's been brilliant. Thank you so much indeed.
Pleasure, Trevor.
Absolute
pleasure. Hopefully see you again sometime.
I'm sure we will. Guys, listen, I will put the link in the description below for Hemmingways. Come and have a look. Like, it really is. If you like your, I don't want to say old style because that's not fair on Hemmingways, but if you like the old fashioned kind, like boozer, like a proper boozer, this is a place. They've got a fantastic big bar. They've got lots of tables. So if you come in a group or you've got family and friends, there's loads of seating here available so you can have your own little party. Fantastic menu. Obviously, Lee's going to be producing his dishes and showing you what he can do in the kitchen, and obviously they've got a great range of beers and alcohols, etc. here as well. So guys, come down, and if you drive, and if one of you's, you lost today, you got to drive, don't worry, there's a massive car park out there, you'll be able to park. So that's it from us today, guys. Thank you so much indeed for tuning in and watching the Coffee Chat Show here on Buzzin Pattaya. As always, please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when we bring out a new video. Check out our Discord server. There's loads and loads of chat forums in there. It's a live chat. You can talk to each other. You can ask questions, whatever you want to know. Just have a look on there, and also have a look at our Buzzin discount card. We've got a members area where I'll be talking to lots of places and be saying to them, look, if I get my guys to come in here off the channel, will they get a little something special? It doesn't matter, whatever it is, anything, doesn't matter. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.